Nikolay Nikolayevich Muravyov-Amursky was a Russian statesman and diplomat, who played a major role in the expansion of the Russian Empire into the Amur River basin and to the shores of the Sea of Japan. The surname Muravyev has also been transcribed as Muravyev-Amursky. Early life and career. Nikolay Muravyov was born in St. Petersburg. He graduated from the Page Corps in 1827. He participated in the Siege of Varna in the Russo-Turkish War in 1828–1829, and later in suppression of the November Uprising in Poland in 1831. Due to health reasons, he retired from the military in 1833 and returned home to manage his father's estate. However, he returned to active duty in 1838 as General Golovan's aide-de-camp to serve in the Caucasus region. During one of the campaigns against the mountain people, Muravyev was wounded. In 1840, Muravyev was assigned to command one of the sections of the Black Sea coast defense lines, during which time he participated in the suppression of the Uzbek people. Muravyev was promoted in rank to Major General in 1841, but had to permanently retire from the military due to illness. He transferred to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and was appointed as an acting military and civil governor of Tula province in 1846. Eager in his willingness to improve the province's state of affairs, he proposed to establish the Governorate Agricultural Society. Muravyev was the first governor to propose Tsar Nicholas I to abolish serfdom, a motion signed by 9 local landowners. While the Tsar did nothing about the petition, from then on he always referred to Muravyev as a liberal and a Democrat. Government of East Siberia. On September 5, 1847, Muravyev was appointed the Governor-General of Irkutsk and Yenisei. His appointment was a subject of much controversy, as it was unusual for a person of his age to be put in charge of such a vast territory. Contrary to the views of Karl Nesselrode, the Russian foreign minister, Muravyev was personally instructed by Tsar Nicholas I to press for an advantage against China. Muravyev's first actions as a governor-general were to put end to the embezzlement of public funds. He also mandated the study of the Russian language in schools for native Siberian and Far Eastern peoples. He pursued the exploration and settlement of the territories north of the Amur River, often utilizing help of political exiles. Many of his actions were aimed to expand commerce in the Far Eastern region, seeing religion as a powerful form of control over local population. He favored building of new Christian churches and promoted local religious beliefs such as shamanism and Buddhism. After the 1689 Treaty of Nerchinsk, Russia lost the right to navigate the Amur River. Muravyev insisted on conducting an aggressive policy with China despite strong resistance from St. Petersburg officials, who feared a breakup in relations between the two countries. Nevertheless, because the lower reaches of the Amur River were in fact being claimed by the Russians, several expeditions organized by Gennady Nevelskoy had been approved by the government. In 1851–1853, several expeditions were sent to the Amur, Liman and Sakhalin, with Russian settlements being established in those areas. On the 11th of January 1854, Tsar Nicholas I authorized Muravyev to carry the negotiations with the Chinese regarding establishing a border along the Amur River, and to transport troops to the Amur's estuary. In 1854–1858, Muravyev assisted Gennady Nevelskoy in achieving that goal. The first expedition took place in May 1854. A fleet of 77 barges and rafts, led by the Argon steamship, sailed down to the Amur's estuary. Due to the Crimean War, a portion of the fleet was then sent to Kamchatka's Avesha Bay, where a series of artillery batteries was established to defend the peninsula. The batteries played a major role in defending the city of Petropavlovsk, which was attacked by the English and French forces. The 1855's expedition transported first Russian settlers to the Amur's estuary. Muravyev started negotiations with the Chinese about the time. Treaty of Agon. During the last expedition of 1858, Muravyev concluded the Treaty of Agon with the king official Yishin. The Chinese were initially against setting any kinds of boundaries along the Amur River, preferring the status quo of keeping the adjacent territories under joint control of Russia and China. Muravyev, however, was able to persuade the Chinese that Russia's intentions were peaceful and constructive. The Treaty of Agon effectively recognized the Amur River as the boundary between Russia and Qing Empire and granted Russia free access to the Pacific Ocean. For this, Muravyev was granted the title of Count Amursky. According to an article by the Russian novelist Vladimir Baryayev, the signing of the treaty was celebrated by grandiose illumination in Peking and festivities in major Siberian cities. The new territories acquired by Russia included Pryamury and most of the territories of modern Primorsky and Cabarrus Monument. The Treaty of Agon was confirmed and expanded by the provisions of the Beijing Treaty of 1860, which granted Russia right to the Ushuri Krai and southern parts of Primory. As a Governor-General of Eastern Siberia, Muravyev-Amursky made numerous attempts to settle the shores of the Amur River. These attempts were mostly unsuccessful, as very few people wanted to move to the Amur voluntarily. Muravyev had to transfer several Baikal Cossacks detachments to populate the area. Also unsuccessful were attempts to organize steamboat transportation on the Amur and to build a postal road. As the main objection of the St. Petersburg officials against taking over the left bank of the Amur was lack of people to defend the new territories, Muravyev-Amursky successfully petitioned to free Nerchinsk peasants from mandatory works in the ore mines. With these people, a 12,000 corps of Amur Cossacks was formed and used to settle some of the lands. The military corps being the Cossacks transferred from the Transbaikalia. Muravyev-Amursky retired from his post of Governor-General in 1861 after his proposal to divide eastern Siberia into two separate governorates. General was declined. He was appointed as a member of the State Council. In 1868, he moved to Paris, France, where he lived until his death in 1881, visiting Russia only occasionally to participate in the State Council meetings. Memory. In 1891, a bronze statue of Muravyev was erected on one of the Amur River's cliffs near Cabarrus. In 1929, it was taken off and replaced with a statue of Lenin, which stood there until 1989. The Muravyev-Amursky Memorial was restored in 1993. In 1992, the remains of Muravyev-Amursky were brought from Paris to be reburied in the central part of Vladivostok, which stands on the Muravyev-Amursky Peninsula, named after this statesman. The Cabarrus Monument, along with the Cabarrus Bridge over the Amur River, is depicted on the 5,000 ruble banknote issued by the Central Bank of the Russian Federation on the 31st of July 2006.